6 years and she's finally coming to the pub. Why did she come to the public and say that?
I feel like everything I learned about them is against my will.
Mm.
Like she just keep telling us shit I don't want to know.
We didn't know they were separated for 6 years.
Right.
We thought they were just doing this shit while saying, hey, we still happily married, right?
But I thought he was crazy when he did that, even before I knew what I know now.
This is Straight Up No Chaser, the podcast. I'm your boy B.
This is Mike.
And we are back for episode 3.
What's going on, brother?
Hey, man, this shit is moving very quickly.
Man.
And before you know it, we'll be at the end. But outside of that, it's just a lot of stuff that's been going on that we've been down to talk about. If y'all don't know, man, Drake done dropped some shit.
Follow the dogs.
Some shit that people don't think is hot. Unfortunately, I disagree to a certain extent, but who am I? Outside of that, everybody knows that Jada and Will have been married for probably close to 30 years.
I want to say. Life.
Yeah, close to 30 years. And some interesting news has been dropped earlier this week as well. But before we get into all of that, we gonna take a couple minutes to listen to a couple songs off of the For All My Dogs album.
Okay.
We gonna start with Virginia Beach. Let's see what Drake really did. Man, so overall, like, we didn't get through the whole album, but obviously I like Virginia Beach. That's one of my favorite songs on there. But man,
I mean, I like a few. I actually like probably 7 to 8 tracks on there, but it's 24 songs. So that's not really a good number.
Right. I feel like out of 24 songs, at least 18 of the motherfuckers should be good.
I would say half.
Half? So 12?
Yeah, because you got to add filler.
I mean, if you look at Wayne, if you're a prodigy of Wayne, bro, when Wayne drops an album or a mixtape, if it's 20 songs, 17 of the motherfuckers gonna be cold. At least. It's some mixtapes out here that you could literally just play all the way through from Wayne and not skip none of them.
I'm not a big Wayne fan, so I'm not the person to have that debate. But
it hurts my heart that you put Wayne so much on a low pedestal when this man is like one of the biggest lyricists to ever touch a pen and pad, bro.
I feel like lyricism is more than just how you rhyme words together. It's substance. What are you talking about?
So
there's only so many times I can hear you shoot my grandmother up my teeth.
So are you saying he has no substance?
Absolutely no substance.
Oh my God.
Name one song where he talked about anything other than fucking.
Do you think your favorite rapper would agree with you on that?
Do I think my favorite rapper would agree? No, because my favorite rapper really loves Wayne.
Oh, okay. As long as we agree with that, we good. But it's been some real controversy over this Drake album. Everybody had their opinions on it, but one in particular stuck out, and that was Joe Budden.
Right. I about to say Budden didn't really say nothing to Drake specifically until Drake jumped out the window.
I think it's because he said that the album was mid is what made him come back and say that.
Okay, yeah.
And so Joe Budden came and said that he feels that Drake's album For All My Dogs was mid, and Drake didn't like that comment. Drake went on to say something of just put Budden in his place respectfully, saying that it's a reason why you didn't last in the music industry. It's a reason why you're doing what you're doing now. You get paid to talk about my life, blase.
All that is posturing, though. If you ask me, all that is Drake trying to control the narrative because he's the bigger artist.
Right.
The truth of the matter is, Drake cares so much what Joe thinks. Not only because he's influenced by him, but because Joe is the largest media influencer in urban media today. So his voice carries weight, and it will start and continue a narrative.
I just feel from a artist standpoint, I just don't feel Joe Budden's name holding weight to that extent. Like, I don't feel like he ain't no So Def, Jermaine Dupri. He ain't no Pharrell. Like, these are people whose names hold weight if they was to critique your music. I don't feel like his name hold that much weight to say, hey, I got a mid album.
But the thing is, proof is in the pudding. Do Drake respond like that to everybody? No.
I think it's because he keeps speaking on him Like you said before we started the show that he spoke on views.
Right.
I don't know what he said particularly about views, but why is every time this man dropping, he feels the need to run to his mic and say something about it?
Now I've heard that they have like a personal issue over like women, like
right?
Tahiri specifically is what I'm hearing.
Wow.
Because Drake smashed Tahiri.
Oh yeah. Oh, that could be a reason why.
Joe.
That could definitely be a reason why. And honestly, I wouldn't. If I'm Joe, I wouldn't even care if Tahiri gave up anything to that man because obviously it's Drake at the end of the day. You Joe Budden, yeah, you could probably fuck a few females, but come on now, bro. You trying to compete with Drake, bro? It's impossible, bro.
I do not like the way you speak about Joe.
Bro, I don't.
It's
bro,
so
I kind of feel Drake to a certain extent because, bro, you a grown man sitting up talking about another grown man to get some dollars.
What?
Do you think Drake?
That's what we're doing.
Hold on, wait. Do you think? Well, obviously his name is a lot bigger than ours, so it holds a little bit more of a stamp. But do you think Drake is getting up saying, "Oh, let me go see what the hell Joe Budden doing. Let me go see what music he got out."
No,
it's not.
Out music.
He not doing that. It ain't nothing you could really search Mr. Pump It Up for. Besides that, and the only way I heard the song Pump It Up is through You Got Served, bro. I never heard that song before I watched the movie You Got Served.
Joe got a lot of good music. He's a really good rapper. He got a lot of good music.
And that's opinionated, right? Because I don't think none of his music is really stamped.
But stamped by who though?
That's what I'm saying. In the industry, I don't think his music is stamped.
I don't know if his music is stamped because he didn't make very memorable music for masses, but his reputation is stamped. His pen game is stamped. All the great, he had exchanges with all the greats, the Jays, everybody but Nas.
I have to say, who has he wrote for?
Wrote for?
Yeah.
I don't think he wrote for nobody.
I feel like who stamped him? Who said Joe Budden is top 10 anywhere? Eminem?
Well, I don't know if he said he was top 10, but he stamped him by signing them to the Slaughterhouse shit.
Okay. He got signed to Slaughterhouse, and what does that mean?
That was probably that is the greatest rap group ever formed when we talking about bars specifically. Why would you get added to that group unless you're one of those?
I just think we giving him a little bit more praise than we should. Or credit.
You're not giving him any praise.
I'm not giving him no credit because he's not at Drake's level and probably never will get to that level.
Hey, newsflash, 99% of the rap game is not at Drake's level. It's Jay and Puff, and that's it.
Hey, you know what's funny?
Kanye.
I actually seen you post something not too long ago when it said put these rappers in order from least to greatest. It was like 1, 2, 3. I think you have my boy Meek at number 4. But
sure.
we could talk about that. We could talk about that a little later. I think you had him at number 4 because Meek is definitely one of the top
yellers.
I'm talking about yellers. Top lyricists in the game right now. He ain't fell off yet. Even with the Drake and with the Drake and Meek beef going on, he still stayed down, still released music, still was making money. And guess what? They still hash that shit out and back making money together.
Because he needed Drake.
You think Drake finna go, what? He needed Drake? He needed Drake?
We was clowning Meek.
Bro.
Is this a world tour, your girl tour?
Bro. And guess what? What was my boy saying? Can you pull up a clip?
Quiet crying.
Can you pull up a clip of my boy rapping somebody else's music?
Who? Meek?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Oh, okay. Can you pull up Drake rapping somebody else's music?
No. Oh, you talking about like it written for?
Yeah, that was already written, but he just sped that shit up in the verse or whatever the case may be.
See, we'd have to have a longer expanded because that's a narrative thing that y'all like to do too. Ooh, Drake had none of Drake's shit that Drake like was going off. 5 a.m. in Toronto wasn't written by some other nigga. 4 p.m. in Calabasas wasn't written by another nigga.
But there's one thing I gotta agree with on. Obviously, Drake said something that he obviously can't recant right now. He went out. I'm guessing at the beginning, a few years ago. I'm assuming this clip is from probably a couple years ago. He said something on the lines of this:
when I met Wayne, I realized the the goal was to like get bars off, but also have these catchy nuances that people can grasp onto. Right. And I mean, I used to rap like Button back in the day, like with the way I used to try and get like certain flows off. And then, you know, when I met Wayne, I realized.
Now, Drake, I agreed with you all the way up until I got to this point. I can't sit back and be on your side and then turn around. We got footage of you saying you wanted to be like a man that you just talk down on respectfully.
That's how we know it's phony and posturing.
I'm just trying to figure out. Oh, go ahead.
No,
I'm just trying to figure out what the hell was he copying from Joe Budden back in the day.
Joe,
that's what I'm trying to figure out. Right? That's what I'm trying to figure. What the hell is this man talking about that he had to copy his flow?
But no, what it is the introspectiveness. If we being honest, the first thing that Drake took, that sensitive rapper shit, that was Joe. That was Joe's back. Joe talked about being impotent, not being able to get his dick hard from being too high on drugs and all this shit with women.
Up until now, saying he's bisexual
Drake
and all
took
this other shit.
No, chill out. Drake took all of that and became the simp rapper, and that made that shit cool.
The R&B rapper.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know that's kind of true though. I don't know if y'all know, but Joe Budden came out as bisexual like a year ago.
He did not come out as bisexual.
Hey,
I'm a patroni.
Hey, we got footage of that man saying that he was attracted to men. We can't sit here and deny that. He said he said he was attracted to men on Love and I think it was Love and Hip Hop.
No, didn't.
I swear to God, pull it up for us, Steve. Let me
come on, man. I'm a Joe fan.
Here's why people think Joe Budden said it.
No, he said on a podcast.
I like guys and girls.
There it is.
Spread the word.
Flat out.
Case closed.
Flat out. He said it out his mouth. I like guys and girls. Oh my God.
That is so edited. That's hilarious.
No, bro, that's what he said. And somebody said, "Are you in the closet?" And he tweeted some shit like, "I thought I came out already."
Joe is funny. Joe is funny. He makes a lot of jokes.
Bro.
He also said, "Do you think he would say this shit live?" He also said when Lil Fizz came out with the OnlyFans, he was like, "I didn't watch that shit." He was like, "I break that little boy." You really think he like that's obvious jokes?
Nah, them ain't no jokes. When you start, you know, and don't cancel me, LGBTQ. Y'all probably know a lot. Y'all probably know a lot better than me. But when a straight man steady jokingly saying gay jokes, at some point I gotta start believing you, because why you steady joking about being gay, bro? If you ready to come out the closet, just say that, bro. Just say that. You know, they don't use to joking about it. I used to think about people like that always just said gay jokes. Like, bro, you're in a room full of straight men. Why you steady coming up with gay jokes, bro? Like, what is wrong with you? Man, those was the days, though. You know?
Yeah.
Whew, how we doing on time, Steve?
About 16.
16 minutes. Okay. So earlier this week, Jada Pinkett came to the media and decided to express that her and Will Smith had been separated for 6 years. Why did she feel a need to come out with that right now? I don't know.
She got a memoir coming out. She's releasing a book.
Oh, okay,
so
that's
she on a little promo tour.
Oh, okay, spice it up a little bit, get it going. Okay, I think we got a little clip of her explaining, or someone explaining.
Pinkett Smith and husband Will Smith have lived completely separate lives since 2016. This reveal comes after Pinkett Smith did an interview with Hoda Kotb on the Today Show Wednesday. The prominent Hollywood couple married in 1997 and have addressed separation and marital troubles, but never this specifically. Though it's not a legal divorce, Pinkett Smith told Kotb that it is essentially a divorce without papers. Smith and Pinkett Smith share 2 children, Willow and Jaden, as well as a son, Trey, from Smith's first marriage. Representatives for Smith and Pinkett Smith did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Jada Pinkett Smith and husband Will.
Think about that, bro. They've been separated for 6 years. This is while the entanglement was going on.
Mm-hmm.
This is when Will smacked Chris Rock.
Mm-hmm.
This is when Will Smith was allegedly being caught with
he was getting caught with men.
No, you said the actor
the Harley Quinn girl.
Harley Quinn. So all this transpired within the 6 years, so it kind of makes sense, you know, if she was having entanglements, and all this other stuff that was, you know, Will Smith slapping Chris Rock for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel if I'm separated from somebody, that means I have no ties to you. Yeah, we still legally married. Mm-hmm. We still legally married, but you having entanglements, I'm not getting up smacking nobody.
He's sitting at the table with her.
You know, that's actually true. That's actually true. But what's your take on that? You know, 6 years and she's finally coming to the public. Why did she come to the public and say that?
I feel like everything I learned about them is against my will. Like she just keep telling us shit I don't want to know. So I don't know why the fuck Jada.
So you basically saying there was no reason for you to tell us that you were separated for 6 years.
Not if y'all was separated for 6 years and you kept that shit private. Keep it private. Yeah, do another 30 like that. Like I don't see the point. Just like I don't see the point in all this Tupac shit she started telling us about.
Right.
Like that nigga been dead 30 years. She started telling us.
And that's
he proposed to me when I was a kid. All right, he dead now.
Let me ask you this: do you think Will was a fool for sitting at that table, that round red table, whatever the hell that shit called?
Red Table Talk.
Yeah, Red Table Talk. You think he was a fool for doing that?
No, I don't think he was a fool for doing that. But I think he should have controlled a little bit more of the way the conversation flowed. Yeah.
Do you think now knowing what you know that they have been, because before she said this, we didn't know they were separated for 6 years.
Right.
We thought they were just doing this shit while saying, hey, we still happily married, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think he was crazy for getting up slapping Chris Rock and potentially losing a lot of money, losing a lot of deals?
Well, I thought he was crazy when he did that, even before I knew what I know now. So now it's extra crazy. But I understand it. Like, again, he was still sitting there with her. We don't know these things. So to us, he talking to your wife, nigga. Do something.
Right. He bagging on your wife at the end of the day.
Talking about your wife. He called her G.I. Jane.
You know, and I still think Chris Rock wasn't coming from a place where he was, you know, trying to hurt her feelings or something. I feel like he was doing what any other host would do. Control the crowd. Right. Control the crowd, make them laugh, you know, blase. Because if you really look at that video, she smiled at that. He giggled a little bit. It was I don't know what triggered when that camera
she kind of turned, like her smile turned into all right. Yeah. She also said that Chris tried to holler at her during that time where there was a lot of rumors about them being divorced, that he like called her and said, I would like to take you out. And she was like, I'm happily married or whatever. And he was like, oh, I heard that y'all weren't. My bad, I'm sorry, type of shit. So maybe it was some salty shit. Because I'm sure Will knew about that.
I ain't gonna lie, it kind of makes me think that they really were swingers. You know, that's been alleged for so many years that Will and Jada Pinkett was swingers.
I think the world we live in now, I think it's obvious they were swingers. Because like that shit everywhere now.
There's no way in hell I can sit across the table from my wife and be told that, hey, I've had an entanglement with a man that you brought around my kids and my house, you know, whatever the case may be. You say it started as a friendship that ultimately led to a relationship. Keep in mind, y'all married though, you know. And granted, obviously, we're not there with them. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't know what type of conversations they having, you know. Right. But from the outside looking in, I don't know what I'd have been doing or saying sitting across from the table. My wife telling me,
especially that nigga,
such and such was knocking me back, you know. Well, I don't know what I would do, you know. You still, I guess, you know, if you want to pull that, it's cheaper to keep them, you know, roll too, because they probably save off on a lot of money too, because it'd have been a lot of alimony being passed around through them for sure.
You think so?
I think Will Smith would have been paying so much alimony, bro. He is,
even though the kids are grown,
bro.
She has her own money.
He has definitely grossed way more money than Jada.
Well, yeah,
way more money.
That's not to say she don't have.
And I don't think, honestly, to live her lifestyle, I don't think her funds alone today would help that. I don't think she would be able to sustain that if they were to separate.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what she got. Her little endeavors, I don't know.
Come on, man. I can only name about 6 or 7 movies Jada Pinkett never been in.
But I don't think she make her money from movies, obviously. No more.
Where you think she make her? Where you think majority of her revenue comes from?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm gonna get you, sucker. Was she in that? Was she in I'm gonna get you, sucker? Hello. What was she in?
Low Down Dirty Shame.
Low Down Dirty Shame. Yeah, that's what it was. I'm talking about I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Yeah. No.
Jason Lyric ain't paying enough.
Oh, yeah,
although that is the baddest movie I ever think she ever played in. Was Jason Lyric.
It's another one I think she's super fine in.
Man.
Oh no,
that was my crush.
I liked her on Different World.
That was my bruh. Can we pull up a picture of the Jason Lyric? I don't know who this alopecia Jada Pinkett Smith is today, but this one,
Sir, you can't say that.
Man, that woman was beautiful. That woman was beautiful.
So are you saying she's not beautiful with alopecia?
I mean, she's beautiful still, but this was the crush when I was coming up. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was actually jealous that this nigga was boning her in the fours, bro. Because if you think about it, this came out on cassette tape when we was younger. So imagine wasn't nothing scripted on there. You saw all the sex scene, well, the make believe sex scene or whatever. Bro, I used to sit back like, this nigga is really smashing her in the woods. He really smashing her in the woods. He going crazy.
You saw Monsters Ball, Halle Berry?
Nah, I've never seen that.
That's a scene right there, bro.
I've definitely seen that because Holly was my crush.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. You say she steady keep bringing up this Tupac crap. Like, what you say, let it go, Camp.
Let it go. That nigga died, bro. He been dead for like 25 years. And you still
actually
telling us
longer
new shit
than that,
about
bro.
him.
He's been dead actually longer than that. At least 30. He got killed in the 90s, right?
96.
Yeah, so yeah, he coming up on 30 years, man. Easily. I think we got one more video to look at as far as this. Let's check this out.
Alcina.
It's all love.
Recently, Alcina revealed to the world that he was involved in a relationship with Jada while she was still married. And even though statements were released denying the affair, Pinkett Smith is now reluctantly confirming that the relationship did indeed exist.
It's a situation that I consider private.
You just feel like it ain't really nobody's business.
Yeah.
But now Black Twitter has claimed it as their business.
During the 12-minute Red Table Talk episode, Jada sat down with Will.
Look at that man's face.
Why do people think when you publicly say something that it's not the next person's business when you publicly say something? Like if I came in here telling y'all my personal business, it is no longer my business because I have shared it with y'all, right?
Right.
So I feel like that's the same way. You publicly talking about this stuff and then you turn around and say, it's nobody's business. How?
Especially when you got a platform like that.
Right. How? You made it my business.
But they didn't say it. August did.
Well, yeah, true enough. Continue.
To explain how she met August 4.5 years ago. But the friendship didn't turn into something more until she and Will were ready to call it quits.
You and I were going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
And we decided...
I was done with your ass.
Yeah, you kicked me to the curb.
I was done with you.
Yeah.
Marriages have that, though. Marriages have that.
Yeah, we basically, we broke up.
And then what did you do, Jada?
Well, I think from there, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement with August.
Yes, we know entanglement is vague as hell, but thankfully, Will pressed her to be more clear.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship, absolutely.
We also got clarity on the misconception that Will gave August permission to sleep with his wife.
The only person that could give permission in that particular circumstance is myself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But what August was probably trying to communicate, because I could actually see how he would perceive it as permission because we were separated amicably.
Yeah.
And I think he also wanted to make it clear that he's not a homewrecker.
Now, if you're like us, you're probably wondering why August? Well, we'll let Jada explain it.
I just wanted to feel good. It had been
What about
so
this man was going to make her
long.
feel good?
You ain't hear the story?
What's the story?
He had broke some girl's cervix.
Oh yeah, I did hear that. I did hear that.
That's the part.
But I don't think she really meant from that standpoint. I think, and I'll contest. I can kind of contest to what she's saying, because I did date. I ain't gonna say date. I did fool around with a woman that was obviously, 20 years older than me, and she did stress to me that she just wanted to live her life and.
How old were you?
Shit, 27, 28.
So she was in her 40s, almost 50s.
Yeah, so I think she was turning 50 that year. She was turning 50, okay. And she had basically explained to me that all her kids were finally out of the house, and she just wanted to start living life.
Till you come through. Now.
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of get her to that gist, like that she wanted to just start feeling whole and feeling good, and obviously sometimes an older gentleman can't do that for you. Obviously, it sounds crazy saying that because Will Smith is her husband, but sometimes they want a younger guy to make them feel better, because we as younger men ain't gonna do as much as the older. I mean, not do as less as the older guy would, if that makes any sense.
No, it don't, because nigga, they was married.
Yeah, but but this was on the part where this was on the part where they were on the rocks. That's how that friendship turned into a relationship, because she said, I just wanted to feel good. Go ahead and play so we can finish the rest of that.
Since I felt good. And it was really a joy to just help heal somebody.
Eventually, August broke things off, and they haven't really talked since. And the
because
Smiths claim,
why? I feel like it's predatory when you come off as a teacher healer for somebody and then you sleep with them. Because if they need healing, they are broken from something, or they are hurting from something. When you introduce sex into that, it now to me enters predatory, like I lined you up kind of way.
Yeah, I got
That's
you.
what I didn't.
I got you in my hand now.
Right.
Like, I groomed you to this. Yeah, I get you on that. I actually I think I was looking at a TikTok, and some girl was like, you can never heal a wound if you steady taking a Band-Aid off of it, right? And I think that was kind of that. Like, she was trying to heal him, but also, steady peeling that Band-Aid back, because now you getting his emotions involved with your emotions, and he not even properly healing at this point.
Right.
Yeah, but that's just my thought process on it.
they are now stronger than ever.
We ride together.
We die together.
Bad marriage for life.
This got to be one of the craziest sayings I ever heard.
Barnett.
We ride together, we die together. Bad marriage. Like, y'all promoting bad marriages.
That's sad.
Like, I've never been married. You been married. You hear some shit like that. We ride together, we die together. Bad marriages for life. What does that mean to you?
I don't know, because shit, I don't know. It sounds crazy to me. I would have never said no shit like that.
Why? Oh my God! They say stay out of rich folks' business, right? And that was some shit some rich folks would definitely say. But I honestly think at the end of the day, I think Will stayed with her because it would cost him too much.
I think that was a catchphrase line. I think they came up with that before the show.
Yeah, for
and,
sure.
Made it a thing.
For sure, without a doubt. Without a doubt. It's just a simple fact that they were saying that with, joyfulness in their voice. Hey, we had a bad marriage. Woo!
But I will give them credit for that. I think it's dope to be able to do what they're doing if everybody is happy. Sometimes Wills don't look happy to me, and that's my only caveat. But the kids seem happy. She seems happy.
I like how the
environment seems happy.
I like how they kind of stay out of the mix of that. I think they've said something here and there, but I like how they stay out of the mix. They don't get in their parents' business. They don't broadcast and go online and saying this person's bad and this person's bad or whatever the case. They just leave that shit alone and stay out the way. But as far as when it comes to your privacy in your relationship, I don't know, me personally, I probably wouldn't have kept that private. I'm a private person myself, so I can't even really say that. Like, I don't feel like everybody needs to know everything. Like when I first posted my lady, a lot of people didn't know because it was a few weeks before I posted her. And when I finally came out, cause I really never posted a girl, really. I never even posted my son's mother.
Right.
And most people say, damn, like that. No, a lot of people really don't know how she looked. If you ain't never been to none of the kids' party, my son's party, you probably never gonna know how she looked, because I don't believe in showcasing her to anybody. And that's just me. And I'm pretty sure it's the same way. But like when it comes to privacy and relationships, what do you think about that?
I'm not super private personally, just because like I like honesty, which I say every week here. I feel like at this point, but yeah, I ain't really all that private. My wife used to hate when I used to do podcasts because I used to talk about all that shit.
Right.
Not necessarily like dirt. Like I wouldn't be talking about our bedroom shit, but like if we was fighting that week over some stupid shit, I'd be like, "Hey man,
yeah,
you know."
Fact.
She hated that.
I think sometimes privacy is best in life because the moment people start knowing just a little bit about you, it's always gonna be a spin on it when they tell the next person. Like if you came and told me, "Hey, I got a kid on the way," I go repeat it to Mike like, "Damn, you know, Mike said he caught an STD and he got a kid on the way." Like I done spent that shit all around, like all type around. That's why it's like it's best to probably keep shit private. Like, and I was just talking about this with my girl today. I said I gotta learn to be patient. And what I mean by patient, be patient enough to keep shit to myself and share it when I'm ready to share it.
Right.
You know, I think I've had a problem.
You talking about in relationship or just in general?
Just in general. Like, just be patient. Keep that shit to yourself until you really ready to share that shit. You know? And that's how it kind of was with my relationship. I didn't, like, a lot of people still don't know. Those who know at the end of the day. A lot of people still don't know I'm in a relationship.
I got a question. So is there a point where privacy steps into dishonesty? Or just what do y'all think?
Does privacy step into dishonesty? So you basically saying if I withhold something and I don't tell my significant other about it, or they ask me about it and I'm not truthful about it, does that lead to dishonesty?
Does it become dishonesty over time?
Over time, yeah. I think if you ain't transparent with that person, like if I withhold something from you or don't give you the whole scenario or the topic or whatever the case is, I think it does become dishonesty, because why did you feel the need to tell me less of what the story actually is? I don't know. I'm that person that try to put two and two together. Like if it don't make sense, I'm gonna make it make sense. And at the end of the day, you don't want me to make it make sense.
But do you feel like your partner is owed all of everything?
I think some things you just have to keep to yourself, even from your partner.
So then sometimes you have to keep some things private from your partner, and that's not dishonest.
I do believe it, but if you have to withhold it, and you know, honestly, I'd rather just not tell you. You know, I'd rather not even talk about it, because if I know this is something sacred to me and I don't want to share it, period, I don't mind keeping that to myself. I'm gonna act like I never brought it up. You know, you ever brought it? I know how to change the conversation quick. That's just me.
Nah, that sounds like lying.
That's just me. It's like sometimes you just got to keep shit to yourself. I don't care what it is. You know, you ain't finna sit and tell me your social. That shit been private your whole life. You ain't never shared that with nobody. Is it dishonesty if I give you a false number?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no. So keep it to yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah. Good point.
I don't know. What else we got on this privacy? Steve, you hit me with a curveball.
Oh, I'm sorry.
throw another one in there, man.
So is there a point where secrecy becomes dishonesty? Like, you know, keeping secrets?
Yeah, no, that's dishonesty.
I think yes, it's really no way around it. I think if I could revert back into my own personal life, I don't know why I always make analogy with my son's mother, but when I first met her, it was some things that she didn't tell me, you know. And unfortunately, she had some inner dealings. Obviously, it was before me, but I feel like that's some shit, like certain shit you should just be telling people anyway. You know, if you know this is going to hinder your relationship. Because I'm a strong believer, just like Shannon Sharp said. He said, people have what they call memory. Your memory can haunt your future. Just because you ain't telling me don't mean won't nobody else say it. So don't let nobody else tell me something that you should have told me. That's what was you so secret about? And not to stray away from my point, but she had inner dealings with people that I personally knew. Personally knew. And once I found out, I was like, fuck. You know, I was at that point like, fuck, I don't want to deal with this girl no more, because now knowing what I know and I had to hear it from that person, that's what pissed me off even more. And it's like, she knew it, but she never said nothing about it.
What bothered you about that?
I feel like what bothered me about it because I had a relationship with them before I had a relationship with her. Mm-hmm. And granted, they didn't have to tell me because they didn't know. But she knew. She knew that I knew them. So why didn't you tell me that? You know, that I probably wouldn't have had a son today had she told me that. Type shit. So that's kind of like when he says secrecy, yes, it becomes a problem when you holding shit back that you know you should be saying at the end of the day.
Now, do you want another question?
Oh yeah, give me another.
So when it comes to a wife, are the rules different in terms of secrecy, privacy, dishonesty, like those three things? Like, are there things that you would keep to yourself? Does it differ if you get married, basically?
I feel like once I marry you, nothing's off limits. I expect you to be fully transparent with me.
I just would love to know the difference to why is marriage so much different than girlfriend?
I don't think it's no different, but it's just I think for the simple fact when you put a ring on it, it just ties a different knot to it. If you just my girlfriend, you could be gone next month. Mm-hmm. If I'm married to you, this is obviously something I want a life.
Newsflash, I was married. She was gone. It was quick. I have to quit.
Sometimes I think marriage, sometimes people get married prematurely before actually really knowing someone. And I think that's why people be so quick to hit the road, because they didn't know what they were getting themselves into to begin with. That's why it was so easy to detach, right? If I'm going to marry somebody, I'm going to know deep down in my gut that this is the person for me, right? And I don't want to...
Easier said than done.
Right, I'm not that person that's going to say, oh, 6 months in, I'm finna marry you. No, I feel like that shit takes time. That shit takes time. Like, I really have to learn this woman.
The truth of the matter is, I was with my girl for 5 years straight. Not a breakup in there, not for a minute. Before we got married. We stayed married like 10 months. Marriage changes things when you come into it expecting things to change once the ring comes.
Oh yeah, no, nothing changed once the
when
ring
you
comes.
commit to your girl and say, this is I'm committing to you, I want this. Marriage should not change that.
Mm-hmm.
Commitment is commitment. People get married and then be like, well, you're my husband now, or you're my wife now, you should do this and you should do that. That's what changes marriages. Mm-hmm. Coming in with this different expectation. That was one of the things me and my wife talked about in the beginning. Like, look, if we do this, nothing changes. But obviously it didn't go that way.
Right.
That's what I feel like the real difference in the breakdown in marriages and yeah.
I feel like titles really don't mean nothing, right? I think people get married and think, oh, I'm just on a higher pedestal now and I need to act like this. No, just be you. You know, obviously if I'm married to you, there are certain things you should and should not be doing. But I don't think it's no different than you just actually being my girlfriend. You know, only thing that's the difference is the contract.
Exactly.
It's the only difference. People say, oh, I'm married now, I got to do. What does that mean? You got to do that in the girlfriend stage. Like, a lot of women don't know, like, we looking to see if you even wife material at the girlfriend stage. Like, if you ain't doing shit in the girlfriend stage, when I get, what did you think I'm going to expect when I get to the wife stage? You to be any different? And I'm pretty sure it's the same for men. Women look like, is this man really husband material? If you can't be a good boyfriend to me, how can I expect you to be a good husband? And I think a lot of women and men think putting a ring on it is going to change the situation. It's never going to change the situation. It's going to still remain the same. Forcing marriages is a problem.
Because this generation is so sold on this idea of like this undying love that don't exist no fucking way. Mm-hmm. Everything is conditional with us. Mm-hmm. Everything is conditional. Everything. I mean, we say marriage is supposed to be unconditional, but let's be honest. If she cheat, you leave, right? Most of the time. That's not unconditional love. Because the condition was the moment you cheat, I'm the fuck out. Mm-hmm. Unconditional versus conditional. Everything in this generation is conditional. But we try to act like it ain't.
Right. What's one takeaway from a person that's not married as myself? What's one takeaway you can give me not to do before I ask a woman?
Before you ask me, not to do. I don't know. Obviously just take your time.
I would say this. Let me ask a little differently. What's one thing you would go back and change before you ask?
Get married. Sorry, we cool. Fuck with you. She always share these shit, so I fuck with you, but definitely will change.
And that's kind of like, can you scroll back to the top, Steve? That's kind of like basically like what we like having too much of high expectations. And I think when we go talk about the marriage situation, I think a lot of people have a high expectation for shit that's really not even reality. Of the just, we can look at all these celebrity couples and these celebrity marriages and all this other shit, but at the end of the day, this is shit that you think is true.
Funny enough, when I got with the first year we was together, everything was so perfect, and then I got caught texting this girl, and like she came home and went ham, went ham, right? Rightfully so. And after we calmed down and had a conversation, her thing was like, she was like, I'm so hurt because in my mind, you were perfect. This wasn't even a possibility. And I was like, but can you see how that's unfair to me?
Right.
You had this very unrealistic expectation of me to be perfect. And then when I was not,
And that's kind of funny. Sometimes you try not to talk bad to like your family members, like your mom or your dad, about your significant other, because what? It changes the expectations on that person, right? So I'll never forget one of my guys, he cheated on this girl. He had cheated on this girl. And I winded up having a conversation with his girlfriend or whatever. And she was like, I really didn't want to tell my mom and my dad because they had already talked so highly of him. So she ultimately didn't say nothing to them about him cheating on her. And he was a dog ass nigga, but she didn't want to change the the perception of him.
Right.
So she ultimately kept it to within their relationship. But you never know. Her parents was setting expectations on him out the door.
See, to me, that's embarrassment, though.
Yeah.
You keeping that to yourself is more embarrassment.
Like,
I went through, I can't say when, but I went through a situation where this girl
dishonesty
cheated on me. And
secrecy?
I told everybody. I told everybody I can find. Hey, she cheated. Hey. And everybody was like, why are you telling everybody? So I don't go back. I want y'all niggas, if you see me even thinking about it, remind me of how goofy I look now.
I think every
so
nigga,
I don't go back.
I think every nigga done been cheated on before.
I'm probably
every guy has been cheated on before. How did you feel when you first got? Y'all got a story first? I got a funny story. Anyone of y'all got a story about being cheated on?
Which time?
I never been cheated on.
Just give me. You never been cheated on?
Never
All
been
right, so
cheated.
this
Not
story,
that I know of.
So this comment, he said, not that you know. All right, so I got a crazy story for y'all. Man, what time we coming?
45.
All right, so I'll tell a quick story. The first time I ever found out I was cheated on, bro, I was sick. I'm talking about sick, bro. And I'll never forget this. I remember like it was yesterday. I was with my ex-girlfriend, and we laugh about this shit. So if you see this shit, it is what it is. We laugh about this shit all the time. But I was with this girl, and for some reason she was acting funny, bro. And I'm like, the fuck is going on? Like, I feel like I'm in love, what my mom called it puppy love back in the day. They ain't shit but puppy love. But I'm like, nah, fuck what you talking about. I'm in love. This one finna be my wife. We finna have kids, all that shit.
No, I know you
so,
sick.
Yeah, I was sick, bro. So, I'm like, when somebody just acting different toward you. You just know. And I was already skeptical of her doing something, like dealing with somebody else. So one day she like really just had the balls to tell me like, yeah, I'm seeing somebody else. But in my mind, I'm like, damn, bitch, we was just boo, like we was finna plan our life next year type shit. And then all of a sudden now you just telling me you dealing with somebody else. And I would never forget.
In private? She told you that in private?
Yeah, like we was by ourselves.
Oh,
She told me flat out to myself. I said, flat out to my face. She said, I'm gonna be with that person. Like, I said, damn, 3 years gone? 3 years down the drain? I said, damn. And I swear to God, I'll never forget. I turned around. I walked away. And as I walked away, I said, I will never allow a woman to put me in that space ever again.
I just seen what you did, sir. You just made this a clip. He started talking slow.
Hold on, wait. No. That's just true. No, this is true shit though. I told myself walking away, I would never allow a woman to ever put me in that space. Now, fast forward, imagine I've held on to that shit for so many years. Women now be telling me, damn, why you so nonchalant? Why you so this? Why? Because when I attached myself to someone, I was let down. And I'm afraid to be let down again. So now I try to keep it where it'd be easy for me to detach from you if need be. Because I was sick to my stomach, bro, for about a month.
So can you honestly form real relationships that way?
And you know, and I can tell you this, it actually kind of traumatized me over the years because I was actually vulnerable with that woman. I cried with that woman. I cried about that woman. It took me at least a good 6 months to get over that, bro. And once I finally got over it, it was good. I was good after that. I was
good.
Can
you form meaningful relationships
I feel like...
Try to ignore my question.
I feel like I still have my 1 foot out, 1 foot in type shit. Because it's hard for me to attach myself to a woman early because I just don't know. People change like the seasons. As much as I wanna take people for who they are, you know, I still just have that drawback moment. You know, oh, you getting a little too close to this person. You getting a little too close to this person.
I'm dealing with somebody right now. They watch this, so
yeah.
And it is that, and I am so scared.
Yeah.
Because it's like I really like you.
Yeah.
But if you play with me, I might really go crazy.
Yeah.
Like on you.
Yeah.
So like it's scary because I don't want to put myself in jeopardy.
I was also like what I also learned from that is that no one should ever have you to a point where they taking you out of character. Like I should never have so much feelings for a person that they take me out of character. Like you done changed my whole mental thought process. Like I'm willing to hurt somebody behind you. I'm willing to put my own life in jeopardy. For somebody to have that much mental control over you is crazy. And that's why I say I'm always 1 foot out, 1 foot in. And granted, I told my girl was telling me, she like, man, you need to just calm down. You know, let shit be what it is. She said, you too busy worried about what somebody gonna do to you.
But see, and I feel that, but they say that, but my nigga, every time I try, these things happen.
Mm-hmm.
How can you not understand the reason I protect myself
this
way?
And I'm all right to be vulnerable about, you know, even talking about this because a lot of men won't share this side of them. You know, a lot of men want to put on that tough, you know, I ain't fuck that bitch, you know. Ooh. No, I'm human at the end of the day. I know how that made me feel at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And you can only hide behind so much at the end of the day. You can only hide for so long. So that's just that's just one situation I've had in my life, you know, that I ultimately like kind of got my mind to where it is today.
Right.
And did it hurt a lot of people down the line? Because I did dog out a lot of women after that, bro. Like it was really fuck these women out there.
That I can relate to.
It was really fuck these women. Like that, I took that shit. I apologize to any woman I've dealt with after that period, you know. But I promise you I've changed since then. But it was a lot of good women that got fucked over, bro.
Damn, I had a good question. I forgot. Damn, that was a good question too.
Anything to follow up with that?
I'll just say, like, I got a quick little story, man. My first heartbreak, I was so pressed. I like quit my job, moved out, and like left the country. So
shit,
like I feel it, man. And then I just dogged out a bunch of women, kind of like you said.
Yeah.
And I thought of my question. This is personal to you, and this is just a homie moment. Do you plan on going to figure out how to deal with that? Because if you like this girl the way you say, then you should step both feet in.
Yeah, so
but I understand the process.
It's funny that you say that because I was just talking with my girl and I was saying like, hey, I do want to see a therapist. Like I do want to see why I can't actually heal from this, and I still hold on to it to a certain extent. And honestly, I don't think I just think I'm gonna need some help to unlock that.
That's so funny you said that. I was telling the person I was just telling you about. I was just telling them I think I need to go to therapy to get past this.
And on top of that, going through what I went through with my son's mother, like all that shit was just piling up, bro. And it's like it's just like a huge ball in me that ain't been unraveled yet. You know, we dissected, you know, why it made me feel this way. Why am I acting this way? You know, and I'm not out here maliciously just doing people wrong, but I'm just up with a guard.
Yeah, you are doing what the natural law is to preserve self first.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
what
up
we
with
do.
a guard. And men, and men, it's all right to be vulnerable. You know, talk to somebody. You know, you ain't got to talk to one of your friends. Go talk to somebody you have no dealings with, don't know you from a can of paint. That way you get your honest opinion from that person, because can't nobody judge you if they know you. That's why I kind of really don't go to people and ask them for advice that I know, because likely chances they going to give me something that I want to hear. Mm-hmm. Not everybody can be upfront with somebody. Like, I'm one of those people, I ain't going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm very rare. You know, there's a lot of people out here like that, but you don't run into many of them. Many of them look out for the case of your feelings. And I'm harsh sometimes. You know, I just tell you, hey, wake the fuck up and move on, you know. But, yeah, obviously all us got problems. At the end of the day, is basically, if you're going to, you know, deal with it, you know, get help for it.
Right. But it starts with conversations like these.
Mm-hmm.
Clip it up, Steve.
And I just want to say, like, to the end, so I probably had about 300 hours of therapy. I've been in therapy for, like, a big portion of my life. I would say that if you're going into therapy for the first time, or if you haven't been too often, one of the things that I actually suggest is that you don't try to find a therapist that is exactly like you.
Right.
Try to find somebody that will offer an outside perspective and who you won't feel like is judging you. Likely chances are they won't be judging you, but if you go for someone that's like, you know, resembles a person in your life, like a mother or a father or a brother, you want to go for someone that's like completely different almost.
Right.
That's a little recommendation.
All right, man. That concludes today's episode. When having too much of high expectations, and when to keep your privacy in your relationship. Once again, this is Straight Up No Chaser, the podcast. I'm your boy B.
It's Mike.
And we'll see you on episode 4 next time.
Yes, sir.